Welcome to NBA basketball. This is 2K Sports bringing it to you live. Thursday Hoops. It's going to be the Indiana Pacers up against Brandon Jennings and the Milwaukee Bucks. And that's all for now. Time to hand it over to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll be back with more at halftime.
Hi again, everybody. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr as we get set to bring you all the action. We'll see the Indiana Pacers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Granger, Hansbrough, and Hibbert are the front court. Paul George is out there with Collison. And for Milwaukee, Delfino and Mbamute at the forward and Bogut at the center. Jennings out there with Steven Jackson.
A lot of hands down there on the block. That's a tough position to be in offensively.
Jennings against George. And Mbamute. The shot's good. Jennings making the play.
You gotta love the low post offense. That was beautiful.
You know, Jennings had an injury to deal with last year and still improved his numbers overall, but you get the feeling he wanted a little more from his season, and I think it'll motivate him going forward.
Well, Doris, an interesting game. Moments ago, you had a chance to talk with head coach Frank Vogel. What do you have to say?
Yes, Kevin. Making good decisions and being smart with their offensive chances is what Coach said is going to be a key to their success on this one. As he noted, they're up against a team that works very well together as a defensive unit, and forcing shots and rushing plays right into their hands. Can they avoid it, Kevin? We'll see.
Wonderful, Doris. Thanks for the report.
You know, that strong defense on the other side obviously has them a big concern.
Yeah, no question. And they're so good when you isolate, they're going to really close you down. So you've got to keep player movement, ball movement, try to get that defense on the move. That's the only way you're going to get good shots against this team.
Here's Jackson. Rips down the breakaway slam.
When in doubt, punch it down.
As easy at 2 points as you can get.
Safe to say that's a pretty high percentage shot, guys.
And with Jennings, Clark, he was able to up his field goal percentage, which is still very low. But I think, Steve, he was hoping for a breakout year.
Well, the 55-point game that he had almost was a curse. I think that was his rookie season. He was just ridiculous that night. But now everybody's expecting more. And the reality is he's so young. He's got so much to learn. There's a lot of room for growth there, and he's got to continue to work to get better.
Here's Collison. Pass to George. Guarded by Jackson. Shoots from the post. A nice shot by George. George has got 7.
This has been the start that they had hoped for, coming out knocking down 4 of their first 5 shots.
You know, the story with Milwaukee last year was a team that just struggled to score the ball, Kevin. I mean, nobody was able to consistently put it in the basket for him.
And here's George. After Steven Jackson hitting the 3. Jackson against George. Takes it up. And the layup is good. 9 points in the game so far. And Clark, on that note, only 6 Bucks in double-digit scoring averages last year. With Jennings, the fleet-footed Jennings, topping the list at 16.
No, it's just the fact that the top scorer was only at 16 a game.
Yeah, and Jennings was shooting about 40%, so that's part of the problem. He takes a lot of shots. He doesn't always make them. So usually you need your top scorers to be high-percentage shooters. It allows you to get back defensively, and it allows you to really be able to count on somebody night after night.
Drew Gooden has checked in for Milwaukee. Ilyasova comes in for Carlos Delfino. And a change for the Pacers. Hill's checked in. George against Jennings. He passes to Ilyasova. He's picked up by Hill. It's back to Jennings. There's the triple, and again Milwaukee with the triple.
What a marvelous job they've done of sharing the basketball. A ton of assists.
Well, they know where each other is all the time. They're moving the ball, just finding the open guy. Nobody seems to care who scores. They come right back with the triple.
An eye for an eye? How about a 3 for a 3, Steve?
He feeds it to George. Steven Jackson covering. Took him no time at all on that one. George has got 12 in the game. Stolen by George, and they're on the break. Basket good.
He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
Bucks trail by 4. And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
This run a definite concern. They've lost all momentum, and they need to try to sort this out right away.
And some changes here for the Bucks. Delfino comes in for Andrew Bogut. And it's Udrich in for Brandon Jennings. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Josh McRoberts is checked in for Hibbert. Foster comes in for Tyler Hansbrough. Dante Jones, he's checked in for Danny Granger. And it's Dunleavy in for Paul George. Here's Udrich. He's picked up by Hill. Udrich, the pass to Delfino. Dishes to Udrich. 6 to shoot to stop the run. And Steven Jackson, the basket, on the assist by Udrich. 7 points for Steven Jackson. There's 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. It's tipped. Here's Dunleavy. Here's Hill. Goes straight up. Blocked. But they retain possession. The Bucks trail. Now here's Jackson. 7 points in the game. That's good from Udrich on the assist by Jackson. Udrich has got his first 2 points. And here's Hill for 3. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
It has been all offense here early.
It sure has been. I mean, both teams clicking, and it's been an entertaining game as well, guys.
Kicks to Jones. It'll count. He just barely beat the buzzer.
Wasn't rattled at all. I mean, he's the kind of guy you want taking those shots.
Yep, I agree with that. Pressure mounting, the crowd counting it down, and bang, he drains it.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. It's the Pacers. They're up by 5.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like what I've seen from this club defensively. They're forcing a lot of turnovers with their quick hands and ability to play the passing lane.
Well, you talk about quick hands, but I think it's the mindset of being aggressive and then obviously being active with the hands, tracing that ball so you can come up with deflections that may lead to steals.
Don't go away. We'll see you in a moment. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Here's Hill. It's a 5-point game.
Well, you look at this Pacers roster, a nice young blend of talent and size and versatility. They had the flexibility this past summer to add some other nice players. So this team... seems to be on the rise.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Indiana, Granger and McRoberts are... at the 3 and 4. Dunleavy is out there with George Hill, and it's Foster in at the center position. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, and slam dunk. Wow! Now the spike slam cam for the replay.
There isn't anybody in the building that didn't appreciate that throw. Down.
Well, Steve, that's as fancy a finish as you could possibly get.
A serious degree of difficulty on that one.
You know, Kevin, I thought the Pacers really showed well for themselves in that series against the Bulls in the playoffs last year, and Danny Granger was fantastic. His game was really on point.
It's Hill on the wing. He's guarded by Udrih. And again, it's the Pacers from deep. Here's Udrih. And Steve, for the Pacers, it had to be encouraging to see Danny Granger at his best when it mattered the most.
Yeah, he played extremely well in the playoffs, as Clark mentioned. And he's one of those guys, I think, who's so versatile. He can do so many things on the floor that he's got the ability to hurt you in a lot of different ways.
Here's Udrih. He's guarded by Hill. Left side, Jennings. There's the dish to Udrih. Shoots over Foster, and there's Udrih. That's good on the assist from Brandon Jennings.
Beautiful pass there.
And the Pacers call time here.
Guys, I thought Milwaukee did a pretty decent job at home, despite not being a high-octane offensive team. 22 and 19 at home, respectively.
And some changes here for the Bucks. Mbaramute's checked in for Gooden. Delfino comes in for Ilyasova. And Steven Jackson subbed in for Brandon Jennings. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Tyler Hansbrough checked in for Foster. Hibbert comes in for Josh McRoberts. Paul George, he's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And it's Jones in for George Hill. So back to the Bucks at home. They won games here, but just didn't score a whole lot in the process.
Yeah, they were last in home scoring in the NBA as well as field goal percentage. But this is a team that really has a defensive identity, and they were able to scrap and claw and just kind of figure out a way to win games at home.
Udrih dishes to Jackson. And Granger picks him up defensively. And Steven Jackson, the basket, on the assist by Udrih.
And you can see the strategy has been to take the ball inside here.
That's where you get high percentage looks and draw fouls, Steve, and it's a good way to play.
Here's Delfino. He has 5. Mbaramoute up top. Feeds it to Udrih. Elbow shot. And Steven Jackson, the basket, on the assist by Udrih. Udrih has got 3 assists now in this one. George against Jackson. Out of bounds. They'll keep possession. Drew Gooden is checked in for the Bucks. Jennings comes in for Beno Udrih. Here's Granger. He's got 5. Shot clock at 5. There's the pass to George. Over Jackson, and there are the Pacers with another bucket.
Well, it's been nice, efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
And Jones with the stuff.
Now, that's just rubbing it in, fellas.
Throwing it down with style.
These folks are not going to forget that one anytime soon.
Here is Jennings. 1:36 left in the first half of basketball. And Granger picks him up defensively. Jennings with the bucket. Jennings has got 7 points in the game.
Now, Brandon Jennings' numbers did not take a huge leap forward last season during his second campaign in the NBA, but he and Bogut really developed a nice chemistry together. probably time to bring an extra defender, change up the defense a little bit.
Well, Steve, he's been so good. I think they got to take the ball out of his hands right now.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, Andrew Bogut is from Australia, a country known for passionate sports fans, and he wanted some of that energy in the Bradley Center. So he bought 100 season tickets, gave them to the loudest, craziest fans he could find. He named them Squad 6 after his jersey number. Bogut said, "It's only 100 people, but the noise they make sounds like 1,000. It gives us some energy to feed off." Guys, back to you.
Nice time to use that foul to stop the layup.
You know, if you can save just 1 point, that foul was the right move.
Back to Jennings and Bogut. They really worked on that pick and roll until they really got it right.
Well, they're two highly skilled players. I mean, Jennings is excellent with the ball, has improved a bit as a shooter. Bogut is outstanding when he's setting that screen. I mean, I think it's something that they can really be effective at as a tandem going forward.
Here's Rush. Shot on the wing. That drops. Rush has got his first bucket in this one.
Boy, it really puts great pressure on your defense when you're trying to recover from a turnover.
Yeah, their defense is really in jeopardy every time they turn the ball over. So if they can take care of the ball, it'll take care of things at both ends of the floor.
That's good. Jennings has got 4 points in the quarter.
I like the way he attacked the mismatch, using his speed to get that shot off.
Definitely, I agree. I mean, sometimes it forces you to be a bit more creative in that situation.
Here's Jennings. He's got 9. It's taken away by Collison. Now the feed to Rush. It's a look. The shot's good. Collison making the play. And it's a 12-point Pacer lead.
I don't think they come much easier than that look.
And so that's the end of the first half. Pacers lead by 12.
35. The Pacers. 47.
It's halftime on a Thursday. You know what that means. Time for your HP halftime report. The Pacers come out with a full head of steam. Defensively, they're aggressive, taking every opportunity to force a turnover. Paul George really playing effortlessly. He has 20 points and is also working on the other end of the floor. Nice defensive work. And on the other side, Milwaukee just keeps scrapping. Just a once-in-a-season shooting performance we're seeing from them. They're wearing out the twine. Excellent output from Stack Jack in this one. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? A lot of space between the two sides on the scoreboard, but these two have showed up early. Time for us to wrap things up. Let's get back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll see you next time.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Pacers leading by 12.
A few things you know you're going to get with a Scott Skiles coach team. Tough defense, tough-mindedness, fundamentals are going to be demanded. That was a formula to work for the Bucks in their playoff run in 2010, but they need to find some offense now.
Mba Amute is down low with Bogut. Jennings out there with Steven Jackson. And it's Delfino in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Collison with it. Back to Skiles. Unfortunately, last year they were just okay in those areas. But, Steve, they just had a horrible offense.
They were very good defensively, Kevin, but they just could not score. And I think that's the big challenge this year for the Bucks if they're going to get back into the playoffs. They've got to find a way to get easy baskets offensively.
And Steven Jackson, the basket, on the assist from Brandon Jennings. 13 points for Steven Jackson. Jackson against George. Rises up and throws it down.
He threw that thing down hard.
Now that's how to give the fans their money's worth.
Yeah, he is always worth the price of admission. Well, the Pacers handled themselves pretty well against the Eastern Conference last season, 28 and 24. And they seem to be a team on the rise. They've got a lot of young talent. And having made the playoffs last season, they're hoping for more this year.
Here's Jackson. 13 points in the game. Outside Jennings. Delfino with the three. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. Jennings has got his 5th assist in this one. And for the Pacers last season, finishing 4 games under 500, but they are an ascending ball club as they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, they're building it the right way, too. Larry Bird and David Morway putting some pieces together. A nice core group of young, hard-working, talented players. Now you just put some salary cap room there. Perhaps you can add a piece or two to elevate your talent base and your experience level. Being patient, not taking shortcuts. They're headed in the right direction.
Good place to play.
Yeah.
George. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's on Mbamute.
Looking at the game for George, he's got 24 points, and check out his steals. Very active hands.
But what impresses me most about his defense, Clark, is his anticipation. I mean, he is 1 step ahead of everybody else.
That free throw, no good.
Well, I love Paul George's game. From Palmdale, California, north of L.A., a 6'8" athletic wingman. I think he's got a chance to be a two-way star in the NBA.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Gooden comes in for Mbamute. And it's Ilyasova in for Carlos Delfino. And a change for the Pacers. Danny Granger, he's checked in for Brandon Rush. And Bogut sends it back. Bucks trail by 12. Outside Jennings. Picked up by Collison. Hansbrough against Jackson. And that one's good by Gooden. Clark, going back to Paul George, drafted 10th by the Pacers back in 2010. They really needed another elite scorer to pair with Danny. And he slams it home. Here's the replay on the Sprite Slam Cam.
Yes, indeedy. Boy, I love that one. That's not just any play. Plain dunk. That has some panache to it.
That's an energizer, guys. That is an energizer.
That is, and that will lift the whole team up.
Jennings kicks to Jackson. Defended by George. Jackson, that's good.
You know, Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Stolen by Jackson. By himself. Powers down the jump.
I think he wanted some one-on-one time with the rim. He wasn't letting that thing go.
No, a little pose up there hanging on the rim, just kind of showing off a little bit, Clark.
Here is Collison. He kicks to George. Guarded by Jackson. Jackson is whistled for reaching in. That is his first foul of the game. Leno Udrich, he's checked in for the Bucks. And the Pacers also changing it up. Hibbert comes in for Jeff Foster. And George Hills subbed in for Paul George. Granger backing him down. He dishes it to Collison. And stolen by Udrich.
I'm not sure what they're thinking offensively. Poor decision on that pass.
You know, guys, with only 6 wins in interdivision games, that wasn't terrible by the Bucks, but they missed some opportunities, too.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. 1:25 left in the third quarter of the game. Granger outside. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Granger's got 10. And with that point you make, Clark, about the Bucks, they ended up just 2 games in back of the Pacers.
That's right.
Steve, the Bucks' a rising team, as is Indiana.
Yeah, they've got some potential there. They've got some good young talent. They've got an excellent coach in Scott Skiles. And they were right there, as you said, just 2 games out of the playoffs. So I think Milwaukee has a chance to get back into the postseason this year.
Well, for one, he hasn't let them down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
Fires from deep, and it's Collison that time on the assist by Granger. 9 points for Collison. It's stolen by Hill, and here comes the break. The finish. Flushes it down to finish the break.
But that's a big boys throwdown right there. I mean, how many point guards can explode to the rim like he does?
He's one of the few, no question about it.
He is not afraid to take it into the big trees, guys. He will go right in on you and go right to the body and pump it home.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. And the Bucks with some changes. Carlos Delfino's checked in for Bogut. And it's Jennings in for Steven Jackson. Dante Jones, he's checked in for Indiana. Here's Hudrick. He's got 8. It's stolen by Hill.
You know, with that one, he's getting up there in turnovers. I mean, 4 in all now. He's got to be better with the ball to get his team back into it.
This has been an offensive explosion, guys. They are on fire.
How about a volcanic eruption, a flash fire? And defensively, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. They just... Oh! Well, that's a dunk you will not see very often. You won't pass that one by.
No doubt about that.
I wish he would, though. Can never see too many of those.
Jennings knocks it down from 19 feet. Jennings has got 4 points on the quarter. Three-pointer. Gets it.
They're firing on all cylinders. That shot caps a nice run going into the final quarter.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Paul George really making a difference here.
Yeah, give him credit. He's been very selective with his shots. And paying off for him and his team.
You know, through the first 3 quarters, Steve, he's taking exactly what the defense is giving him, and he's not forced anything. I mean, that's poise that is very impressive. That's exactly how you should play the game, in my opinion.
And we'll get back to the action right after this. Here in the fourth, let's send it over to Doris for our Sprite Spark.
And Kevin, for that great stretch of pace they put together, they get the Sprite Spark Award. There has been absolutely no let-up, even as their lead continues to grow with each stop. They're using this game to send a message to anyone who's watching it, Steve. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. That run was a critical stretch part of the game.
It sure was. I mean, once the pilot light was lit, they didn't let up.
Offensively, it all came together for the Bucks. It really allowed them to take control of the game at this point.
And into the 5 offenses to start the fourth quarter. We've got Josh McRoberts. Rush out there with George Hill. Then there's Jeff Foster. And it's Jones. And Milwaukee comes up with it.
The turnover difference hasn't been in their favor, but you know what? That hasn't slowed them down too much. I like that.
Let's see that again on the strike slam game.
Boy, he's got enough time there to put a little something extra on that one, too.
It's going to be remembered as a adventure.
I think it was more like a banana split card.
Yeah, but I think it's obvious for the Bucks to be successful. A lot ride on the shoulder of their number one overall pick in 2005. And he's got to be a force.
And the pass has to go. And the Pacers lose by 16.
Boy, this is scary. You're going to score like this. You're in trouble.
Yeah, you can't leave a guy like that man on the island. You got to bring some help.
Deflected. Jennings in the steal. Here's Delfino. Blocked. Pacers leading by 16. Here Jones. Indiana converted.
They're just trying to get outrun their own opponents. That's exactly what's happening.
And I like the way the game is working. Right, nice right now. I mean, they're running right the fast break point.
And leading by 6 shots off the glass. Jennings got 4 this quarter. Because Bob Hogan and his team is in the Bucks top of the league.
Getting healthy. Remember he had that elbow injury a couple seasons ago. I think it bothered him last year. But if Hogan didn't get healthy, Milwaukee could get right back into the mix. He's got a lot of talent. You can play him offensively.
They get a hand on it.
It's amazing. One player to turn the ball over so often.
The 3 on the Pacers.
Another 88, and we've just seen a barrage from long range here in the second half.
Lazy. It's hard not to that side, man. There's a lot of ground to cover when you spread you out like they do. They have the Pacers took a step forward last season. I mean, they did improve their road record. 4 wins of 13, 128 compared to the season before.
Looking at the others after now for the Bucks. Improvement is checked in for Bogut. Jackson comes in from Brandon Jennings. And it's truly in for Luther. Here's Delfino. Here's Gooden. Sweet ball. 13-28 road record for the Pacers. Tied for the 9th worst in the league. I hate to bring that up in the games. Steve, not what I would expect from the playoff team.
Well, they struggled on the road offensively. They averaged 7 points at home than they did on the road. That's what they did late in the season under Frank Vogel. And if they can carry some of that momentum into this year, I think the Pacers can be much improved.
They baseline jumper. A nice shot by George. George has got 27. Bucks trail by 19. 3-point-pointer. Jackson at the basket on the assist by Delfino. Delfino's got 4 assists in the game. And they turn it. Up in the line that time.
Just a total lack of focus, was not paying attention to where he was.
A different look for Milwaukee. Hogan comes in for Drew Gooden, and it's Jennings in for Keon Doolin. On offense here with the Bucks, it's a 17-point game.
It's like they're finally starting to wake up here, guys, but they're going to have to continue this run to get back in it.
Yeah, they really hurt themselves early on, and you hope now it's not too late.
It's taking by Carlson. Pushing it up. George. The shot's good. Carlson making the play. George has got 29. Pass it to Jackson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws coming for him.
Well, Steven Jackson throughout his career has been a pretty durable player. But last season, a hamstring injury forced him to miss 10 games. That's disappointing for Jackson. He's a guy who loves to be out on the floor.
Steven Jackson, as we mentioned earlier, historically pretty durable. Big body Clark when he plays on the perimeter.
Yeah, he does a nice job. He's a really good all-around player. I mean, I know he can be a little emotional and get out of hand on occasion, but he's a loyal teammate, a hard worker, and a talented player. And he's a strong two-guard. He's more used to dishing out punishment from that position and taking it.
Jackson setting it up big there. Fooling the D.
Well, you love the way he searched for good shots all game long.
Pass to George. Over Jackson. And again, it's Indiana converting.
3 straight hoops in transition now. They'll want to end that trend in a hurry.
Now, there's really no excuse for giving up easy baskets in transition. You got to get back and hustle.
Here's George. That ball, great assist by Darren Collison. George has got 33. Jennings with the ball. To the inside. Defended by George. Shot from the top of the key. And it's another Milwaukee shot right there going in.
A nice little run here, but it may be too little too late.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't have enough time, Steve. The clock is their enemy, not their friend.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. 41 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And he'll backs him in. Over Bogut. Here comes Jennings.
That's going to do it. I don't think they have enough time here now.
This one's in the books.
The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Well, they're just trying to run clock now. I mean, this thing is pretty much over.
Yeah, there's nothing but the result to be determined. So it's time to start thinking about the next game now.
Oh, a one-hand jam.
That's probably going to do it. They are just putting this team away.
Steve, I thought they caught fire just at the right time, blowing this one wide open as the clock winds down.
Boy, he wants that one from way outside. But here's Hill. It's stolen by Bogut.
A fantastic steal. He knew exactly when to jump into that passing lane. Well done.
That free throw good from Jennings. And so he makes both from the line. From the other side of the floor. And the miss. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games for a coach.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.